On what basis we can classify animal kingdom? Just help me very fast. The first one comes as, the first one, level of organization. The first one, level of organization. So there are 4 different types: cellular, tissue, organ, and organ system. Starfish, if you consider the figure of starfish, they have 5 arms, and you can cut them into 2 equal halves in more than one plane. So when you can classify, when you can divide an organism into 2 equal halves in more than one plane, we call it radial symmetry. Snake in winter? No. So they are going to be in winter sleep, called hibernation. Winter sleep is called hibernation, and the other one is called summer sleep, called estivation. So this is the time when they are going to get suspended from their job, suspended from their work, and that is called suspense. So if mouth develops first, then anus, we call it protostomia. Proto means first, stomia means mouth. The word stomia has come from stomology. So proto means first, and stomia means mouth. If the mouth arises first, develops first, then anus, then it is called protostomia. But we are what? Deuterostomia. The second type is deuterostomia. What is every other class of animal kingdom? We need to discuss about the steps. On what basis we can classify animal kingdom? Just help me very fast. The first one comes as, the first one, level of organization. The first one, level of organization. So there are 4 different types: cellular, tissue, organ, and organ system. So on the basis of the level of organization, we can classify animals into 4 different types. The extent that we have studied, name the phylum which shows cellular level of organization. Phylum Porifera. Phylum Porifera is the one which shows cellular level of organization. Number 1, very, very important. Though they are multicellular, but still they show cellular level of organization. That means there is no cell-to-cell interaction. Every cell is independently acting upon.
Then how they all come together to work as an organism itself?
Yeah, they are organism, but still they have got the primitive type of level of organizations which normally an unicellular organism shows. Fine? A cell is self-sufficient to work. So they show cellular level of organizations. So what are the examples? Examples of phylum Porifera that we have already done. Come on, tell me some of the examples. Cycon, there is Kypha, Euplectella, which is called as Venus flower basket, then Spongilla, then Euspongia, the examples of what? Poriferans. Now, the second level of organizations is what? On the basis of symmetry, we can classify them into 3 types. What are they? Asymmetrical, bilateral symmetrical, and radial symmetrical. What is radial symmetrical? Starfish, if you consider the figure of starfish, they have 5 arms, and you can cut them into 2 equal halves in more than one plane. So when you can classify, when you can divide an organism into 2 equal halves in more than one plane, we call it radial symmetry. So asymmetrical, bilateral symmetrical. What is bilateral symmetrical? Consider about all vertebrates. All vertebrates, the moment you need to cut a body into 2 equal halves, you have to cut it right from your nose to the tip of the tail. From nose to tip of the tail. So you have to cut the vertebral column into 2 equal halves straight away. So that is called bilateral symmetry. Radial symmetry you already know, and there is another type which we have talked about, is about bilateral symmetry. Biradial symmetry. Biradial. What is biradial symmetry? Say, for example, all phylum Cnidarians, like sea anemone. You can cut it into 2 equal halves. They show bilateral symmetry. Also, they can show radial symmetry. So if an organism shows equally bilateral and radial symmetry, we call them as biradial symmetry. This is the 4th one. The 3rd type that we can classify organisms is on the basis of their body cavity into 3 types. Acylomate, they don't have any coelom, they don't have any body cavity. The second one is pseudocoelomate. What is pseudo stands for? False. So they have got false coelom. Now what is false coelom? When the body cavity is not lined by mesoderm. They are lined by mesoglia, which are present in the form of pouches, scattered away. Pseudocoelomate. And the 3rd one is true coelomate, called eucoelomate. Okay, then on the basis of the germinal layer, we can classify them into 2. Now, first one is diploblastic and triploblastic. Diploblastic and triploblastic. And then 5th one, on the basis of their being able to cope up with the environment, there are 2 different types. One is Homeothermous, warm-blooded animals, and one is Poikilothermous, cold-blooded animals. What are you? What kind of this thing you show, or all vertebrate shows, or majority of the mammal shows? We are warm-blooded. What is that? Homeothermous. That means we cannot maintain our body temperature with that of the environment. We cannot regulate our body temperature. We can regulate our body temperature with that of the environment, and that's why we are called warm-blooded or homeothermous animal. So what are poikilothermous animal? cold-blooded animals. So those organisms who cannot regulate their body temperature with that of the environment, so they have got two choices. So what are the choices? You tell me. The first choice is they are going to get suspended from work, called suspension, called suspend. And the second one is they need to migrate. First one, suspend mane ora kaj kora bondo kore debe because the temperature is too low for them to show their normal metabolism. Like in case of snakes. Can you expect snake in winter? No. So they are going to be in winter sleep, called hibernation. Winter sleep is called hibernation. And the other one is called summer sleep, called activation. So this is the time when they are going to get suspended from their job, suspended from their work. And that is called suspend. So cold-blooded animal er kache duto option ache. Either they can go for suspension, and suspension are two types. Called suspend, there are two types. Either summer sleep or winter sleep. Okay. And the next one is they are going to start migrating from that particular place. Extreme temperature, the moment they are going to face extreme temperature, they are going to migrate from that region to the other different region where they can cope up with the environment. Clear? So this is the fifth one. On the basis of their digestive system, they can be two types, complete, incomplete. What is complete? If they have got mouth and anus at two terminal ends. And what is incomplete? They have mouth, but they don't have anus. They have mouth, they don't have anus. Then it is called incomplete digestive system. On the basis of digestion also, we can classify them into intracellular digestion, extracellular digestion. If the digestion takes place within the cell, Yogesh, within the cell we call it intracellular. Outside the cell, that is inside the organ, then it is called extracellular. Fine. Next, on the basis of their development, we can classify them into two, indirect and direct. Indirect means if the larval stages are there. If larval stage is there, then it is called indirect development. If no larval development, only you can see the particular young one and can consider it to be a miniature version of the adult one. Like you, Priyanka. Fine. So that is what is direct development. Next is on the basis of embryonic development. If mouth develops first, then anus, we call it protostomia. Proto means first. Stomia means mouth. The word stomia has come from stomology. So proto means first, proto and stomia means mouth. If the mouth arises first, develops first, then anus, then it is called protostomia. But we are what? Deuterostomia. The second type is deuterostomia. What is the meaning of the term deuterostomia? Deutero means later. Later mouth. That is first anus development and then mouth development. So these are the different ways that we can classify organisms. There can be fertilization. On the basis of fertilization, we can classify them into external fertilization and internal fertilization. Which one is the most advanced one? Internal fertilization is the advanced one. Fine. You want to say something? Yes.